So first of all, Sneha, welcome to our channel, and I'll say many congratulations to you for scoring this much marks and scoring national rank 1 and global rank of 19. So how are you feeling now?
Thank you so much, Vishal, for that. Of course, it's a very happy feeling. Uh, but I would say I have put 50% or 30% of my efforts, and I have been referring only for your notes
Okay.
to clear this exam. Your classes were actually very helpful for me, and the last minute revision sessions of 5 days, that was also very helpful. I would say
Okay.
that being working for a whole day and studying for 2 to 4 hours in a day, and the last minute revisions, so it would have been hectic if it wasn't you.
Okay, many thanks to you again for that. But yes,
Yeah.
I believe that it's the efforts of the students that matters. It's not the otherwise like us, because we as a teacher give equal efforts to all the students, right?
Yes,
But
yes.
there are students who secure a very good marks or even a rank, right? So
Yeah.
it's the effort of a student that matters the most. Okay, or
Yeah,
the
that's what
approach or a
that's
yeah.
yes, that's what I say. 70% it's your efforts and 30% is mine.
uh, okay, I'll okay now.
Yeah.
Tell me just briefly, like, what was your strategy towards the exam?
My strategy, frankly speaking, this is my first exam in ACCA.
Mhm.
But I have a prior experience of writing international examinations. I being a SEMA qualified, I know how the pattern and the exam conditions would be,
Okay,
and I'm aware of the examination platform.
okay,
Uh, and then coming to the exam approach, I was completely going with the syllabus as you have approached it. Like when you started teaching us the IFRS standards, first you taught us leases.
right.
But so I also teach financial reporting for my bachelor students in Kazakhstan. I
Okay,
work for a
okay,
university. Yeah.
okay,
So as you were teaching the standards, I was also started teaching the same.
okay.
Yeah. So
Wonderful.
it was like a weekly revision for me. Of course, I don't teach in detail. Like we don't cover everything for like ACCA exam, but this thing helped me a lot. I would say, because fortunately I was also teaching the same financial reporting.
Okay. Because
Yeah,
what happens when you study on your own, you get only 30 to 40 percentage. But when you
correct.
teach someone, you get really
Yeah.
good insight of it.
Yes, yes. I say that initially, I am a management accountant student, and
Okay.
I have very much passion for the subject management accounting. So with that passion only, I have went up to clearing SEMA examination also. And
Oh, that's great.
financial reporting, I felt like this is completely rule based. You have to remember everything.
Yeah.
There's no logic at all. But when I started listening to your classes, then I felt, oh, this is a very beautiful subject to learn. Actually, everything is logical. You have explained everything logically, and following that logical concept, and why this is happening, why this rule has been made, why this has to be presented. These why questions are answered, so
Right.
then I developed, a liking kind of thing for this subject, and it became a partner.
Wonderful, wonderful. Like well said. Okay. So I'll tell you that what happens when I teach FR and SBR both. Okay. So students generally
Yeah,
ask me that, see, in the classes I refer BP material. Okay. But I
yeah,
believe whether it's BPP or Kaplan, they are equally good.
correct.
So now I want to understand from a rank holder like you. that what did you follow? You followed BPP, you followed Kaplan, or you did both? Because students generally ask me that, sir, I solved the practice kit for both. Sir,
Mm-hmm.
sir only is BPP enough? So what was
Uh-huh.
your approach?
I just followed BPP revision kit and the study text. Study text I didn't refer much because everything was covered in the class. Even technical articles also, everything was already covered in the class. And you would say us read this article for this day. So I traveled to my university for 20 minutes. So in that 20 minutes, I used to cover this technical articles. Yeah, and I used to make in notes. So along with your notes, while listening to your classes, I used to make my notes and highlight the important points for reference. So and then revision kit. You have given us a Excel sheet for revision kit, right? So in that we have every question, the name of the question, and the standard covered in that question.
Right,
So
right.
I followed that Excel sheet. I created a filter and I just I added a column solved and pending. So by
Wonderful.
the end of like when I approached the exam date, till that date, I used to, my task was to complete everything and mark everything solved.
Right. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's a correct approach, I think, to follow. Wonderful. Now, see what happens. Again, students tend to ask me that, sir, we are really not possible. It's not possible to revise everything in the last 24 hours.
Yes.
Okay, not neither possible to solve all the questions, nor possible to revise the study kit, and even not possible to revise the my notes even, right? Because it's
Yes.
around
Yes.
300 pages notes. How can you revise
Yeah.
in one single day? So, what was
Correct.
your approach for the that last 24 hours?
Frankly speaking, for the last 24 hours, I did not read anything.
Okay.
I didn't touch the books, so it
Okay.
was completely it's a normal day for me. So from my childhood, yeah, this is I would give credit to my mom. Actually, my mom doesn't allow me to study anything before the exam.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah,
And that's the
so
same approach that even I followed from my CA exams.
okay. Yeah, my mom told me you should not read anything, you should not take any stress because you might forget if you are
Right.
feeling stress, something like that.
Right. Because our mind is like a generator, so we need
Yeah,
to give that relaxation to it before the exams, so that
correct,
in the
correct,
mind we are in the exam we are performing with efficiency.
correct. Yeah, so I did not read anything. My revision was completed before 24 hours before the exam only.
So you were
Yeah, so
well
when
prepared for
you
it.
completed the 5 day revision, my revision was also almost done.
Done, right. So I remember our revision of 5 day series got over on 28th of November, right?
Correct, correct, yeah.
Yeah. So
So
around you can say 10 days before the exams, you were ready for the exams.
not completely, I would say. Of course, I was having some pending
Yeah.
revision kit questions like APM issues.
Yeah.
So I started reading these APM issues a lot. I read twice.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what student generally does a mistake here is like in the last 24 hours or last 3 4 days,
Hmm.
they think that it's the do or die situation now, and they
Yeah.
practice lot and lots of questions. So
Yeah.
I always recommend that in the last 3 4 days, don't practice much. If you
Yeah.
want to do, read as much as you can. Read. Don't
Yeah.
because if you practice, you are putting like unnecessary pressure on your mind, and it
Yeah.
will perform well in the exams in that case.
Correct. When on the exam day also, when I reached the exam center, there were some other students. They are Russians, so they are speaking in Russian, and they started revising their IFRS everything. So I was
Okay.
like, oh my God, I stopped by reading everything 2 days before, and these guys are still studying. I don't know how I would give my exam, but thankfully it went well.
Right. Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
So now, what happens? Student generally gets a conceptual clarity. Okay, In
Yeah.
my class also, student gets a conceptual clarity plus the practice also they get. But what happens generally, student doesn't prefer to give mocks. So what was your
Yeah.
approach in that?
Mocks, I have specially given a mock for 3 hours. I have taken time and I wrote the mock exam in
Mhm.
my laptop only.
Okay.
So I would say mock is very much important because
Mhm.
it will enable us with the exam conditions, exam environment, and the
Right.
time management specifically. So
Right.
when I was writing my mocks also, uh, I was not able to solve the complete exam, complete paper in the 3 hours.
Okay.
Uh, even in when I'm studying this revision kit, when I'm solving this revision kit also, I used to keep time like one question I should complete in 20 minutes.
Okay.
So this was the pattern I used to follow.
Mhm.
Of course, some questions like when you keep on practicing, as you say, when you keep on practicing, it will be become easy when you come
Right.
to the 10th question or 11th question.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah, so this approach was very much helpful. And the question approach also, which you have explained us, read the question and go to the appendix and all. So this was also very much helpful to understand what the examiner is asking and to answer that thing only.
Like read the question first, then plan your answer, and then write your
R-
answer, and then compare your answer with the suggested answers, rather
Correct.
than just reading the question and then directly going to the answer.
Yes, yes, correct,
So that
correct.
is a strategy that should be followed. Agree, agree, agree.
Yeah,
So
I sincerely followed that approach because this is ACCA, this is my first exam, and I thought like you follow a doctor's prescription
right,
when you are sick. So I followed your approach for my exam, like a
wonderful.
sincere student. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, like, see, as you are a position holder, so what is your overall suggestion to the upcoming students who will be appearing for SBR in the upcoming attempts? If you have any set of suggestions for them.
I would say have your conceptual clarity first. So
Okay.
when you have the conceptual clarity, then it is easy to solve any question. Will not feel anything new. If you
Right.
already know the questions, so you will not feel anything new when the concept is clear. And I would say the second thing, get familiar with the vocabulary
Right.
the technical vocabulary of this subject.
The technical terms.
Yeah, the technical terms of the subject and the time management. Time
Time.
management, many of the students, so I work with Geetam University. So there also there are ACCA students. So they would say that it was impossible for them to attempt for 100 marks in
Okay.
any paper in ACCA exam. So
Okay.
I would say when we practice more, we have to manage this and try to answer the questions as much as possible.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Just if you have touched this point of time management, I would like to ask that how many marks you were able to opt for?
I think I have almost given from 85 to 90 marks.
Okay.
The last question I was not able to answer completely the
Mhm.
first part. Uh,
Okay.
so the first part and second part, I answered the second part first, and the first part I left some space.
Okay.
So that question, I was not very much confident with that question.
So you attempted the question on which you were very much confident. You have opted
Yes,
that question first, right?
yes, yes,
That's a very
correct,
good strategy. I'll say that first focus on what is your strength area, right? And then if
correct.
you have time, work on that areas also, right? Where
Yes,
you
yes.
think you are not much confident. Very good, very
Yeah,
good.
and there was one question from consolidation. It was very easy, but there was some logical thinking, like the fair value of net assets was given, and there was something fair value of preference share was given separately. So I
Okay,
was in a dilemma. Which one should I take? Which
okay.
one? Yeah, so while writing the answer, I deducted it. So finally, I just took fair value of net assets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
So having a conceptual clarity is very much important. At that time, I would say maybe you might be thinking this is too much, but I thought, what would Vishal do if this is the question for him? I thought really in that way, and I just reminded about your terms like just take fair value of net assets. What would you take? So that was easy for me.
Okay, that's really great. That's a really great approach, I think. Wonderful. So I think the set of advices that you have given will definitely help the students in the upcoming exams in the preparation. Okay.
Hopefully.
Okay. On this note, thanks, Sneha, for taking out the time from a busy schedule. And again, many congratulations to you on your success. And I wish you many more success in the future. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.